Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Arbuckle. Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share with you guys some tips and tricks for getting more wins in Fortnite Battle Royale. I know that a lot of you guys have been grinding this game recently, trying to get as many wins as possible before the next season starts. And I made a video like this back in October that did fairly well, and I thought that I would make a more updated version. Since then, I've gained way too many more hours and a lot more wins, and I feel like I have a lot more to offer to you guys. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So the first tip that I have for you guys is to know your drop location. One thing that I notice when I play with a lot of my friends is that the games that we tend to lose, we tend to start off in areas that we're not used to dropping in at. The idea is to find a location that you enjoy. For me, it's always Retail Row. I know that place so well, and I love going there. And I feel like a majority of my wins are when I land in Retail Row because I know exactly what to do and how to do it. I go there so often that I almost have just built this strategy in my head for every possible situation that could happen, down to where a specific person lands. So learning a location, getting used to a location can really help you off the cuff of the match and really help you to do well later into the game. Whereas if I go into the game, and I know a lot of my friends like mixing it up because it's more fun when you start going to different locations, especially if you don't know them that well. But if you're not like a streamer or an expert at Fortnite Battle Royale, it might be hard to go somewhere you've never gone to before and win the game. So the biggest tip that I have for you is to know your drop location, know where you're going to land, and build your own strategy around your play style depending on where you'd like to go. The second tip that I have for you is to gather resources. I can't stress this one enough. I highly recommend gathering as many resources as you can at the beginning of the match while no one is really around you, especially if you land out in the middle of BFE. It's very important to have lots of resources, especially going in later into the game where you're going to run into a lot of people. Having lots of resources will enable you and allow you to build random stuff. Building random walls, building random ramps, this is going to help you a lot when getting in gunfights. I personally believe, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well, that resources are the best way to defend yourself against gunfights or just to win gunfights in general. So if someone does start shooting at you, you're able to quick build. You can build a whole bunch of random walls, a whole bunch of random ramps, build yourself a quick little base and not have to worry about running out of resources or not even having any in the first place. So again, guys, gather as many resources as you can. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably watch some of these YouTube videos of these streamers or some of these guys that are literally godlike on Fortnite, and you'll see that they have lots of resources and they're very, very good at just building insane stuff very, very quickly. So again, guys, have as many resources as you possibly can. It'll help you out a lot. The third tip that I have for you is to loot and bounce. Now, what do I mean by saying that? Exactly how I just said it. Loot and bounce. Don't stay in one specific location for too long. You want to keep moving. You want to get to as many locations as you can and give yourself that opportunity to get the best stuff possible before running into more people. One of the biggest problems that we always had, especially back in the day, is we would try to get to the middle of the circle and build this cool fort and have to sit still. The issue is, though, we would be stuck with whatever we got in the location that we dropped at. So we might make it to the end of the game, but we all might have regular / green ARs with a regular pump shotgun, and we might not have a lot of good stuff, and we might be going up against people with full health, full shield, and scars. So make sure you move around. Don't get yourself stuck if you do end up being in the middle of the circle. That's one of the biggest issues that I see with a lot of players is they get in the middle of the circle and they're like, oh shoot, we don't have to go anywhere. Well, let's just stay here. Keep moving around, right? Like, don't run out of the circle, don't go far away, but go to other places that are in the circle, because there's a good chance that there's probably not going to be a lot of people there. So constantly move. Like I just said, loot and bounce, and you'll be able to get a lot more stuff and give yourself a much better chance of winning the game. The fourth tip that I have for you is to trap your buildings. Don't waste your traps. A lot of people that make it far into the game will end up running 8 to 12 to even 1 million spike traps, and I highly encourage you guys to use these things. These things are so deadly, especially putting them on walls and ceilings, even though players understand, and I don't understand why it's like this. I don't know the psychology behind this, but even though almost every player that plays this game knows that there's probably going to be a spike trap on the ceiling, no one ever checks for spike traps. No one ever looks for spike traps. I don't know why that is, but people just run around aimlessly and they just run into buildings. They don't pay attention. They don't slow down. So why not keep using them? So if you do get spike traps, if you have a bunch of them, or ceiling traps, whatever you want to call them, make sure you're putting them down. Even if you're leaving an area, so many people will be like, well, I'm not staying here, so I don't want to waste it here, or I just don't want to use it. If you have them, use them. Put them down. What's really nice about these traps is that you're able to know if you hit somebody with them from far away. Have you ever noticed you put down a spike trap, you run away, and you hear that little zink noise in your screen, and you're like, wait, what just happened? That's the sound of your spike trap hitting somebody. Most of the time it won't kill someone, because later on in the game they're going to have shield, which is going to allow them to take 2 hits from it before they die. But put them down, guys. You benefit so much from these things. You'll know where people are if someone does hit them, and if you're gonna camp in a building, why not put them on the stairs? Why not put them at the front door? So again, guys, the idea of this tip is to not waste your traps. Use them; they will help you out a lot. The final tip that I have for you is probably one of the most obvious, but people don't tend to do this, and that's to don't engage until you have the advantage. So many people will start gunfights in crappy situations. Let me give you a terrible example. Well, this is a good example of a terrible situation. If the storm is moving and you're running away from the storm, you're running towards the circle, and you see a team in front of you that's also running toward the circle, do not shoot at them unless they see you. Follow them to the circle, because what happens is you're going to start shooting these people. Yeah, you might hit one. Hey, you might even put one down, but they're going to stop. They're going to turn around. They're going to build a ramp, and you're going to be the one that has to keep running because the storm is closer to you, and then you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and then you're screwed. So don't engage unless you have the advantage. So many people will try to start gunfights because they see, oh God, there's a guy here. I'm going to start shooting at him instantly. Like, so many people have that instant reaction. Make sure you put yourself in a good situation before you start firing. One thing that I like to do is if I see somebody, they're running towards me, they're running alongside of me, I will build a few ramps first so that I can start shooting at these people. Because what happens if you just start shooting at them, they're going to turn around and start building, most likely. That's what most players do. And then you're going to have to start building. And then it's a fair fight. Then you're screwed. I mean, unless you're a good player and you can kill them. But what I'm saying is you don't want to put yourself in a situation to where you're letting them have the advantage or you're giving them a fair fight. You want to make every gunfight as unfair and one-sided as possible. So before you even start shooting, build your ramps. Build yourself something really quick and then start shooting so that you don't have to move. You can sit there and wait for them to stop building. You can wait for them to make their move because you already have a base. You already have something set up. So again, guys, don't engage until you have the advantage. It will help you so much. Anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you guys did enjoy some of these tips. Hopefully some of these will help you out. If you guys have anything else to add, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. It will be greatly appreciated. Again, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next video.